evening everybody. Online students, please confirm, is my voice clear and audible to all of you? So once again, good evening everybody. And as you already know, in our first session of introduction to some important terms of sociology, we have seen some important terms like cultural lag, Sanskritization, Westernization, dominant caste. Yes, and we have also seen meritocracy, conspicuous conception, and I have explained very clearly about what these terms are and how you should use these terms in the exam by using simple examples as much as possible. So from the terms, when you saw those terms might be very tough for you, but when you have seen after my explanation, I am sure that those terms have become very easy for you. So I thought of continuing this class about important terms, where in today's class also I will be discussing some more important terms. And usually what happens in sociology optional subject is there are some terms which seem very similar, but they have a lot of difference. We are going to see such terms also in today's class. Okay, so I am going to explain you all some more important terms like how I did in my previous class, and that will be followed by some terms which we will be differentiating, and you will understand it very clearly, because what I am going to do, I am going to explain everything from real life examples. Yes, the first image for today, the way I have shown you all in my previous classes also, I kept on showing you all images and I made you all think. So in today's class also I am going to follow the same concept. Now tell me, what are you seeing in this image? Just tell me, what are you interpreting from this image? The image I have shown to you all depicts a sociological concept. So what are you seeing? Social embeddedness. Now see this image again. Social embeddedness. Now what is this? This is a sociological idea. It is a sociological idea which says that your actions, that means human actions, may not depend always on your individual choices, but it depends largely on the societal interactions, societal relationships, societal networks. Understood? I repeat, according to this concept, this is an idea which talks about your decisions based on, or your actions based on societal interactions, relationships and networks, but they are not based on individual choices. And why did I show you all this image? Can anybody tell me? Think and let me know, why am I showing this image? So I have brought this image for you all because when you have that social interaction, when you have that social networks and social relationships, I have used three terms: social interaction, social network and social relationships. When you have these aspects, you will form, or you in the sense, the individual will form trust. Do you form trust on a new person or a totally different person? Without knowing the person, you can't even trust the person, you can't even give even 1 rupee. Okay, 1 rupee you may be giving, but just I am giving you an example. You don't even give money to a person whom you don't trust. So the societal embeddedness is all dependent upon, or is resulting in, trust as well as long-term stable relationships in the society. It is also resulting in cooperation among the people of the society. Okay. Now why I showed you all this example is, this is one such example where these days we have supermarkets and all, where we just go, and the irony is, you will bargain in small shops, but you won't bargain in supermarkets. Whatever price, whatever amount is there on that packet, or how much ever price is given on the bill, you will pay it without even asking. But your bargaining power comes out, and you will bargain to the extent that the people will be impressed when you go to the lower shops, or the people who run the shops with low income groups. Yes, so this example is, this is simulating our generation where you're not finding that old shopkeeper, but the idea is old. The idea in the sense, in olden days, people and families used to open khatas in shops. So it's not that you don't have to carry the money always. You can, the shopkeeper will note down whatever you have taken in your own book or page. You know, those people used to maintain a lot of books for certain families. So if you or somebody from your family goes to that particular shop, he will write down whatever you have taken, he'll write down the amount and he'll say that this time the amount is so much. He'll just confirm it with you, and your parents will be paying it at the end of one month. This was a situation before, and this happened because that particular shopkeeper gained trust on your family. He knows your family from generations. So he knows that you will anyway pay, your family or your father or your mother will definitely pay. So that is the reason he'll give you the commodities first, even without taking the money at that particular point of time. Understood? So that is happening because of the social network, social interaction and social relationship. The same shopkeeper won't lend the commodities for free or without taking money to a new person. This is the concept of social embeddedness, and in today's society, do we need this concept or not? Yes or no? So the sociologists say that yes, we definitely need this concept because it results in harmonious society. It results in harmonious relationships. It also helps in growth of business. See, if you run a business and you say that I am running a business of publishing books, so I will restrict myself only to publishing books, I don't need the help of somebody, will your business work? No. You have to be in contact with the writers, you have to be in contact with the authors, publishers. It's not just about you, it's also about other people working with you. Yes, it's all about interaction, and it's also about give and take. Whenever you face any problem with the printing, you can't solve it on your own. You have to definitely call the people working with the printing machines. So the society is all about social embeddedness, which is a positive concept and which results in social harmony. So this term also we will be seeing in our sociology classes, but in today's class I have just given you all a brief idea about what social embeddedness is. Okay, so we have two sociologists. Whenever I mention sociologists, please note it down. Carl Polanyi, okay, he is a sociologist who has actually coined this term, and he says that he is relating this concept to institutions. Institutions in the sense, you take some economic resources, for example, the same shopkeeper, he is going to do that exchange of commodities without immediately taking money from the same kinship people, from the same religion people. Just for an example, okay? For example, if the shopkeeper is a Hindu, he is going to have that social relationship, social interaction with only Hindus, and he is going to give the commodities without taking money only to Hindus. Whereas to Muslims, he may charge amount. If he is a Muslim, he may do so only with Muslims, and he is going to charge for other religious people. If he is a Christian, he may do it with the similar Christianity community, whereas he may charge immediately for the other religious people. So Polanyi is saying that this aspect of social embeddedness is institutional. Now what is the meaning of institutional here? All aspects of kinship, religion, okay? You take anything, even you take politics. If he is in social interaction with some politically influential people, he'll do that help and favor to only those people. So kinship, religion, politics, all these are what? These are social institutions which we will be seeing in our class, in our further classes. So this particular person is relating it to institutional social embeddedness. Very, very important, you have to remember this, okay? Now, we have another sociologist who is Mark Granovetter. Now what is this sociologist saying? This sociologist is relating the same sociological embeddedness to relations. Relations in the sense at the personal level. So if he is a friend to you, he'll give it to you. If he has good relation with you, a good bond with you, he'll give it to you. So one sociologist is talking from institutional point of view, whereas another sociologist is talking from personal relations point of view. So you take either institution or personal level, what is the benefit we are having? Social harmony and increased business. These particular people will go to that shopkeeper only, they won't choose any other shopkeeper, so his business is also getting benefited. This is social embeddedness. Clear everybody? Just give me a thumbs up if you understood this. So simply remember it as economic or some relationships relating with the societal relations. So we need all of them. We need all of them to have economic transactions also. We need these social relationships. So this particular concept is more from resources point of view, sharing resources point of view. So economic transactions and social relationships. Yes. Fine. Let us go to the next one. Okay. Now, next image. Yeah, see, before we go to the next topic, I have kept another image. See this image? Need for social embeddedness. Now, what is this? Being in a crowd. I talked about social interactions, then talking to strangers. You have to build interactions, engaging with narratives. What is this engaging with narratives? This in the sense, see, when you engage yourself with what is happening in different businesses, you build interactions. The way I gave you all the example of that publishing of book. So you can't restrict yourself to only your business or your company. You have to widen your circle by interacting with all the people who are concerned with your business. It's not just about your business. So that is engaging with narratives. Following celebrities, yes, even that is also important. These days, you know, people are following in social media, they are coming up with armies for particular people. Yes. So why is it happening? So they are building their own social interactions on social media. They don't know each other, but still that interaction and having that common idea, common ideology, common hero. If you take the heroes also, they become fans. They celebrate the heroes' birthdays, even though the hero doesn't know their faces. Yes, they come up with a lot of costly things. They even go to the heroes' houses to wish them, visit them. All this is what? That gives them happiness. You can't just say that why should you have so much of fanism when that person doesn't even know. So I keep on telling you, right, with some movies we have to learn something and we have to use them in our answers also. Movie is not just for entertainment purpose. We tend to get many useful things from movies which we can use it in our exams. Okay. It's not like whenever there is a tough essay given, you just come up with the story of Bahubali and keep on completing the papers. So completing the papers is the issue of your degree college or BTech college, right? Filling up of the papers, but that is not the case with UPSC. Even if you come up with movies, you can come up with movies, you can come up with movie narratives in your answers, but they should be relevant to the question. Understood everybody? Yes. So next one is need to belong. Definitely that need to belongingness. See, when you think about only yourself, you're not thinking about social interaction. So you have only your family. So నేను నా వైఫ్ నా హస్బెండ్ మా పిల్లలు మేమిద్దరం మాకిద్దరు was a concept happening right in our society. So see, only that one, and then only the relationships, and then close friendships. This is called as belongingness. That means like whatever is happening with the outside world, it is none of your business. But what social harmony needs? Social embeddedness. So to show you all the difference, I have showed you all this image.